microorganisms eliminate pathogens. It turned out that they do, and that out of a couple of samples we had only one where screenings were unsuitable for use in agriculture. They could only be used in the rehabilitation of degraded soil. Perhaps the sample was not properly taken, or it was taken from the part less mixed with probiotic from the part where there was less beneficial microflora. Until the end of May, we had practically no side effects here related with odor emission. We brought here officials from the Environmental Protection Supervisory because starting trial of transition from Lyme to beneficial microorganisms in November 2008, we weren't sure if we would achieve proper results. We apply microorganisms before forming into piles. That is when we are able to distribute them best. Microorganisms will be deep inside and also on the surface. We apply them in this part of the process where lime used to be applied before. An indicator that tells us if we should sprinkle more or not are flies and eventually the smell. You pick up a part of the pile and smell it. The dose has to be cost-effective, of course. Otherwise, we won't decide to use those microorganisms. A reference is the cost of lime usage, sludge disposal, and the cost of management. After such financial analysis, it is easy to define whether it is worth to use microorganisms or not. The most important issue today is to find a legal path to remove sludge from the jurisdiction of the Waste Act. Today we have a big problem because conventional technologies don't have low-cost solutions for sludge management, which is still a big problem in wastewater treatment plants. And there is no idea what to do with all that sludge. Drying and incinerating it is too expensive, because how can we dry water? Such sludge usually has about 80% of water content. This borders on the absurd, because how much money has to be spent to dry and incinerate it? On the other hand, a huge problem accumulates, as every year there is less organic matter available in agriculture. Here, in the wastewater treatment plants, we have excess of organic matter that we do not know what to do with, and in soils there is a lack of it. The situation is that by law sludge is treated as a very dangerous product. It turns out that if there are wastewater treatment plants where heavy metals are below limits, we are able to successfully implement the quadrant ecosystem method because pathogenic microflora, if present, is easily removed together with human parasite eggs, which after 3 to 4 months are completely eliminated. In 2005, we started using microorganisms to try them, and, as a matter of fact, after promising first effects, we came to the phase in which we were able to stop using lime for hygienization. We use microorganisms in sludge management in 2 phases. At the beginning, we apply them in the sludge thickener. This excessive sludge after thickener is directed to open digestion chambers, where a slow mixing process takes place and where there are multiplying microorganisms properly influencing sludge. After open digestion chambers, sludge is pressed, and there we have the second point of probiotic microorganisms usage. They are applied to dewatered sludge, and in this form sludge ages for 3 to 4 months. Afterwards, sludge is tested for the heavy metals and pathogenic bacteria content.
Do momentu, kiedy poddawane są badaniom pod względem zawartości metali ciężkich i chorobotwórczych bakterii.
It is priceless that the mass of sludge has decreased significantly, as the degree of dehydration that can be achieved is very big. As I mentioned, it is up to 28%. Moreover, there is no olfactory nuisance or problems with agricultural use. At the moment, the sludge that we are transporting for the farmers to their fields is indeed in high demand, because even the weak soils give about 30 to 40% more yield when our sludge is used. Of course, such agricultural sludge usage is in accordance with the Polish law, and all the necessary analyses and tests are done on it.
Wszystkimi badaniami, które osad musi przejść.
Tam w głębi po lewej stronie
In the distance, there on the left-hand side, there are separated digestion chambers. That is where the sludge is. There, initial and excessive sludge is directed and fermented. After digestion, it is directed to the tank, which is not visible now, and then into the dewatering press. In the building between trees, on the left, there is Belmer's press. After dewatering, sludge is transported into beds. As you can see, we are in front of sludge beds, and sludge in this part that we are passing by is fresh. It is aging for 3 or 4 months. Some of you for sure have been in wastewater treatment plants before and know what smell sludge can have. I would like to emphasize that we are in direct neighborhood of a sludge bed, and this is the effect of the use of the microorganisms. When we go further, you can see, between the trees, only 150 meters from here, there are residential buildings. And we haven't had any protests against our plant's nuisance for years.
W odległości około 150 metrów tam jest całe osiedle mieszkaniowe. I od lat nie mieliśmy żadnych protestów. Żadnych protestów spowodowanych uciążliwością oczyszczalni. I pierwsze próby pokazały, że
First trials showed that probio-microorganisms are efficiently dealing with odors, and please take into consideration that today we have had heavy rains. If anyone knows something about stored sludge, they know that the heavy rains always cause emission of unbearable odors. This sludge is a perfect product that can enrich soil. Here, through storage in beds, we're obtaining up to 40% of dry matter, and only such sludge is transported to agricultural use. I reached for a sludge sample and I noticed an earthworm. In sludge that is more than 2 or 3 months old, earthworms appeared. This is an unusual phenomenon in conventional sludge management. Without application of the probio-microorganisms, it wouldn't have been possible. However, here in sludge we have earthworms, and we are certain that this is a product that is safe for the environment. And it is confirmed by analysis. It is an excellent product for agricultural use. Probio-microorganisms also improve results in cultivation. Because if sludge is used in agriculture, beneficial microorganisms are migrating with sludge to the soil. We are in the wastewater treatment plant in Błonie. It is a municipal wastewater treatment plant. And it is the first plant in which we implemented beneficial microorganisms. The plant had problems with odors, and we solved those problems in a relatively short time. Sludge with probiotic microorganisms is spread onto beds. It is stored there for a couple of months, and it undergoes complete hygienization caused by beneficial microorganisms, additionally intensifying the dewatering process. After 4 or 5 months of aging, we obtain about 40% of dry matter. Of course, olfactory nuisance is completely minimized.
Prawie całkowicie zlikwidowana jest ta uciążliwość zapachowa.
We are pleased in many respects about applying the quadrant ecosystem method. First of all, the quality of the wastewater treatment plant's work has improved. The plant is more resistant to disturbances of the quality of sewage coming into the plant. We have no problems with the dewatering and management of sludge. We have commissioned research to the Poznań University of Life Sciences. Professor Piotr Konieczny, specialist in the utilization of very heavy waste from the meat processing industry, conducted research on 3 samples: blind sample, sample with lime, and a sample with the probio-microorganisms. The result from research was very clear. 1 month was needed to eliminate salmonella, and 3 months to eliminate human parasite eggs.
na dzień dzisiejszy
Today, we see no other method so good and effective to manage sludge. We're planning to expand it into other directions. We would like to transform sludge into a full-value organic fertilizer that can be used in agricultural production.
Nawóz, który można by wykorzystywać do produkcji rolniczej.
Sludge properties, not only organoleptic ones, allow us to use it in agriculture, also in direct neighborhood of residential homes, because it is not burdensome to the environment. In 2007, we received from the Wielkopolski province a Wielkopolski Hit Award for results obtained in 2006. This award was dedicated to the quadrant ecosystem method for the hygienization and drying of sludge, elimination of odors, and improvement of the efficiency of the wastewater treatment plant. The practical effects of applying the quadrant ecosystem method were explained by parts of the movie Creatures Inside Us were used in the film.